First of all, I want to welcome you guys. This is the first event by a group that didn't exist 2 months ago. And the group is a bunch of business people in Indianapolis that have one thing in common. We're very, very passionate about Purdue. Is that not right? So I'm going to explain how we got started. I'm going to give you a very, very brief introduction of what the Boiler Business Group is all about. I'm not going to go into any details because we haven't quite figured that out yet. So we started with 0, and as of this morning, we have 514 members. And this is a Purdue story that we need to get out. We're raising the profile of Purdue in Indianapolis. We're taking Indianapolis back from the IU Star and from Notre Dame, et cetera, et cetera. It's not easy sometimes in a city that graduates IU students in the journalism school. We got our work cut out. You know, when we have people on our team like Hummel wins the National Scholar Basketball Athlete Player of the Year is on page 7, you know you have some issues. So we're going to fix that. And we've got a group of people in this room that can do this. This is the very beginning. So I'm going to give you some stats. We had 0 members other than Jeff McKean and I in January. Then we brought in Mark Carney. We brought in Tom Walsh. We started building. And then we brought in a bunch of people. Now we had 24 people on the leadership committee, 508 members on the list. And out of those 500 members, a lot of them in this room, people, we want your title and we want your business. This is a business group that's going to build this. These are the titles. Out of 508 members, 169 out of 508 are listed as chairman, CEO, president, owner, partners, or founders. That's Purdue. That impresses me. We got to educate the rest of the city. So take that one pager. No, you can applaud that. That's pretty cool.
So when we set out to find a new coach, we wanted a proven conductor to drive our train. We wanted somebody who had demonstrated success, who had ability and energy, and could ensure that the Boilermaker Special would be in top shape and ready to pursue a return to Pasadena. That's what it's all about. If we don't all collectively hold that dream, it will never happen. We worked very closely with interim President Sands and to a lesser degree Mitch, because he was just coming on at that point in time. Great assistance from our board. Mike Berghoff's here this evening, but Keith Kroc and Tom Spurgeon and many others helped us as we put together a plan to bolster our investment in the conductor and his staff.
You know, I want to go real quickly before I sit down with Tim and just give you a little bit of background information on me. I've had a few people ask me, where are you from? I grew up in Cinnaminson, New Jersey, a town right outside of Philadelphia. And went to high school there at Cinnaminson High School. And then I went to college at Muskingum College, which is about an hour east of Columbus. And then I started my coaching career at Oberlin College. Spent a few years at Oberlin, went to Eastern Illinois, back to Oberlin, University of Pennsylvania. Then I went to Western Michigan, West Point, West Virginia. Then I went to Rutgers, Ohio State for 7 years. And then I took the Kent State job a few years ago, and now I'm at the place I'm supposed to be at. And I can't be more excited. And here's why. I went to dinner last night with one of the fraternity houses. And I sat down there, and I was there for about 2 hours. And we're exchanging normal dinner conversation. There's a guy, 2 people down the table from me, and he's just itching to get a question in or get a statement in. And I could feel it, but I was engaged in another conversation. So finally got his opportunity. And he said, Coach Hazell, Purdue just broke into the top 50 in the world in academic education. And I said, the top 50? I had to research it today. There's 17,036 schools in the world, and we're in the top 50. And he had such a passion and such enthusiasm. I said, this is the passion and enthusiasm that we need to have about Purdue football. And the fraternity group says, you're absolutely right. And that's what we need to do moving forward. I'm going to share one thing with you. The team doesn't even know this. So don't tell anybody. 2 weeks ago, my family came out for the spring game, and I wanted to take a tour of the campus so I get a better feeling of how to sell the place to when recruits come on campus. I'm sitting in the back with my son, the missus up front, and Dave Tate, one of the professors on campus, is taking us around campus, and he's showing us the building and talking about this, talking about that. And every year, you're looking for an identity for your football team. And you want it to happen naturally. You don't want to force it. Who's this football team going to be in 2013? So we're riding around. We get to the mechanical engineering business building. And he starts talking about the mechanical engineering building. He says, in 1894, January of 1894, this was the first mechanical engineering building. And 4 days after its dedication, there was an explosion, and it burned to the ground. The next day, the President Smart, vowed that we're going to build the next mechanical engineering building bigger, one brick higher than the last one. And that really symbolizes, or is symbolic of what Purdue is all about. We're going to do things that much better. Every single time, everything we do, we're going to do it that much better. So our motto this year, and don't share it yet because I got to tell the team, is one brick higher. And everything we do, going forward, classroom, community, on the field, is going to be one brick higher.
How were you able to turn things around, and what lessons can you take from that as you come here to Purdue?
I'll share a quick story with you. I was recruiting for Ohio State, and I was looking at a receiver in Canton, Ohio, and I was sitting in the school, and I was talking to the coach, and he says, the Kent State job's getting ready to come open. Who in their right mind would take that job? Little did he know, 2 hours later I had an interview. But that's what drives me. And it's the passion to take places that people say you can't take them. That's what drives me every single day.
Talk about, first of all, your recruiting philosophy, and second, the areas that you would like to target for the Boilermakers.
Well, the biggest thing is you got to make sure you get kids with character in your program. It's too hard. Winning football games is hard. And when you're competing against yourself because you have bad character kids in the program, you're chasing guys around and making sure they go to class, it's almost impossible to be successful. The second thing, obviously, they have to be able to handle the work academically. And we want kids that want to thrive in the classroom and flourish in the classroom. And then third, they have to be able to play.
What were you looking for in an assistant coach? What's your philosophy there of what you need to have?
First, you have to have guys that are going to take care of the players that are in our locker room. Mentors, father figures, hold guys accountable when they need to be held accountable. Then you need smart guys. I love input from guys around the table. I love input. There's a lot of smart guys around our meeting table. And then you need guys that are passionate. And passionate about wanting to be here, which is very important. And then passionate about getting our guys better each and every day. We need standing room only, and that helps winning. Because when it's 3rd and 8 and the quarterback's in the gun and he can't hear because you guys are crazy and loud and he's got to get underneath center, it changes the whole dynamic of the game. And you would not believe how much it affects the other team. So we need that. And that's one of the things that if you look around the country, some of those schools that are doing well year in and year out, their stands are full.
What's it like, and you did it 2 years ago with Kent State, you'll do it again, what is it, September 7th is the home opener, running out with a football team in a home football stadium as a head coach? It's
very exciting. And we got some special things planned in the stadium that you're going to really like this year to try to entice people to come into the stadium, but also induce the crowd in terms of noise. So it's going to be pretty exciting when you get in the stadium. It's going to be fun. I grew up in New Jersey, and I had an opportunity to see a college football game in the Meadowlands when Navy was playing Rutgers. And I don't know who bought those tickets for me, but that was so eye-opening. It was such a great experience. So if you have some kids in your neighborhood or youth groups that you can provide tickets for, it changes their world. So if you can kick in and maybe buy a batch of 20 tickets here or 20 tickets there to bring some young kids, it's an eye-opening experience for those guys.